Imagine you are a short-faced bear, and you're just walking, and there's no fence, and then you get stuck in tar. That is kind of crazy, if you ask me. Oh, I see a bubble. Popped.
Fuck. Don't get me started.
Hello,
Welcome from the TarPits.
this is Ava,
This is Mercedes.
and we are the hosts of Don't Get Me Started, a podcast exclusively about the La Brea Tar Pits. And I would venture to say this might be the only podcast about the Tar Pits.
I mean, it is the main reason that we're trying to move into the podcast space and move the
Yes.
culture forward, because
Yes.
not enough people are talking about the tar pits, and we're trying to change that.
Exactly. So let's talk about that briefly. I've always said that it is, and we can speak about this because this is kind of a revelation we felt when we first came here together. This is truly in the middle of Los Angeles. This is like a very central location in a major American city, and I feel like nobody talks about that enough, that it's just like this crazy feat, dare I say it,
You can
of
say that.
natural wonder is just here and like totally accessible. Like it's totally free to hang out here in the park, and you can just like look at the tar pits all the time.
You're tar pit adjacent really anywhere you are in LA. If it was
Seriously.
anywhere else in the country, it would be a giant roadside attraction,
Mhm.
but it's just part of LA.
It's just part of
Nobody's
LA.
talking about it.
It's part of Museum Row now, which is like, I think brings a lot of people here. But I think they forget. I think they go to the Academy Museum. I think they go to LACMA.
And they skip
And then
the
I think
tar
they
pits.
stop here and they're like, and now
That's just a
exiting.
park. I'm sure there's nothing interesting in there.
Yeah, or they walk around the park, they're like, cool, now I'm going back to my car. I would challenge our listeners. Think deeper. Push harder.
Dig into the ground.
Dig into the ground. You'll
Through
find
the asphalt pools.
and you'll find tar, probably. So let's talk about, was the first time you came to the tar pits with me?
No, I came as a child and actually I saw Neil Patrick Harris and his family here. But
Did you recognize him, or was your
no,
mom
my mom
like, this is Neil
recognized him.
Patrick
I was like 10. I didn't quite care about him yet. But now I care about that happened.
What did...
I saw him in the museum. I know for that.
Oh, you saw
much.
him in the museum, just
Yeah.
not around just the park. You saw him in
Museum, which I love, but the tar pits, which I prefer.
Yes, I agree with that. Was he, and he was with his family? Because
Yes,
he has
two
children.
children.
Interesting. How young were you, would you say? Let's
I
put
don't know.
Put a timeline on the screen.
Sub 13.
Okay,
so
I'm gonna put
2012.
sub 13.
That was like if we're making a
2012.
timeline of us and our experience at the tar pits.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So my first experience was before your first experience.
Yeah, my first experience was with you, I think.
Oh my God, really?
I think,
don't think I
okay,
realized that.
for context, I moved here almost 2 years ago. You moved here
A little more than that.
a little more than that.
We're
I-
expats. To be
We're-
clear, we're not tar pit natives.
Transplants,
yeah.
fucked up. I think the first time I went was like when it was truly like the only person I really knew in the city was you, and we were doing
And I was
things.
like, you gotta check this
You
out.
gotta check this out, and you gotta check out the tar pits. And we went to the tar pits, and we were enthralled.
Truly walking around in awe, being like, why isn't anyone talking about these constantly? Because I, again, love the museum.
Mhm.
These fossils are so cool. Ice Age era fossils. So no dinosaurs yet. Pretty much all Ice Age era.
Mhm.
But the tar pits, fascinating. We had so many questions. And admittedly,
Yes.
is the museum kind of focused towards children? Maybe.
I think,
But we are
yes.
adults with deeper questions.
But that's okay, and it's okay that it's focused towards children. 'Cause
Yes. No, I want the kids
And
to be.
that's
I
good.
want the kids to be into
The
the
children-
into the archaeology.
the children need to be hashtag in STEM.
They yearn for the pits.
They yearn
They
for the
should.
pits. That being said, and I do think it's really cool that it's so well done. Like all of it is so well done.
They're funny. They're smart. There's
Yes.
lots to have. There's lots to explore.
The team is like actively thinking about how to give this to the general public in a way that is engaging and fun and modern, I would argue. And there's like always something new, which I really like, because I think there are some, not in LA, because I think LA is just like such a big city with so many people who are constantly coming and like they constantly have tourists and stuff. But there are other cities where it's like, oh, this random museum hasn't really been updated in a
Mhm.
while. It's being ran, but it's not being like kind of kept up with the times. And one thing I really like about the tar pits is that they are keeping up with the times.
And I think they try to remain in the community. They have lots of
Yes.
events. They are trying to bring
I like
people
that.
in. Dude, night of the tar pits. I'm so sorry you missed it.
I
It was
know,
great.
and that was the great upset of my life. I was in New York City, which who even fucking cares about New York City when you have
There's
a
no
tar
tar
pits
pits
right
there.
here? Why would I leave Los Angeles if there's no tar pit in the city in which I am going to? So next year, I'm there. I'm marking it in my planner because it's a 2-year planner on purpose so that I can plan ahead. But yeah, the first time I went to the tar pits was with you. So this is
I do love
something
that.
we share deeply.
It
It's
was-
a bond.
I see that as my first adult tar pit experience
100%.
because I feel like I didn't take them seriously enough as a child.
100%. And I think that's something that we've spoken to a lot of our friends who are from here.
They're just like, yeah, the tar pits.
And they're like, I went as a child, but like, I don't think I've been there in 15 years. Even though it's right here. It's very accessible. It's not somewhere far away from us either, like fucking, where's somewhere far away? San Diego?
No tar pits there.
No San Diegan tar pits. It's here. It's in fucking, what part of town is this?
Wilshire.
Wilshire.
Mid-Wilshire. There is tar pits in Carpinteria, California. I don't know where that is, but...
And so that, we can speak about this as well. We looked up tar pits of the world yesterday, and it did seem like, well, it didn't seem like there are multiple tar pits in California itself, and then like smatterings across the world. But it's like truly this state is
It's
like
places with a lot of fault lines,
Mm.
like the 6th Street fault line, where this one is on, and then places with a lot of petroleum, which California also has. So it's petroleum fault lines,
Mm.
pools of asphalt, which is tar,
Mm.
quote unquote tar, not actual tar apparently.
Yeah. Oh, really?
I just learned that actually.
Speak about this.
It's called tar, but it is it's just asphalt, which is the lowest form of crude oil,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's methane gas that's bubbling up.
Interesting. What would make it true tar? What is the? Is it a semantics thing? What's the difference?
When I was on the Blueberry Tar Pit website,
Mhm.
that's just what they said. So maybe episode 2, we dive a little more deeper into the science and figure out
Yeah.
what real tar is, because this said yes, it's called tar, but that is misleading.
Oh,
It is asphalt.
Interesting. And I would love to know why. Then they were like, "Yeah,
Let's
calling
call
it the
this tar.
pits.
Is it just because
We're
I think
calling
just
the
because it
tar
looks
pits."
like tar?
Interesting.
So
Yeah, we'll talk. Well, maybe we'll deep dive into that.
what
We'll
is
get
tar?
some
We get a man of science to tell us what real
Or
tar
woman.
is. Or I'm sexist actually.
or
Let that
woman
be heard here first, folks.
or they them. Are they
Non-binary
them
and
of
STEM.
science? Yes.
I'm starting a new club.
Uh, fantastic. Okay, let's talk a little bit about, so when we first came here, we were so enthralled by it, we just had to get on the horn with somebody in charge.
Because we had so many questions. And the signs are so helpful, but they didn't answer our deeper questions.
We went deeper. So we're going to go through some, I would guess, frequently asked questions of us. Just some baseline, like, we went to the tar pits once, here's what we're wondering. And we got in touch, we were very graciously put in touch with Becca Prater, perhaps?
Maybe we have her on at one point and she can tell us the correct pronunciation of her name.
Becca, if you're
listening,
we would love to have you on the pod. That would be truly, that's the celebrity episode.
And more to Becca. Thank you so much for answering us because it was so
Thank
kind.
You might think, when you hear these, did a 12-year-old write this? Did a child who has no sense of how the world works send this email?
Nobody's talking about tar in, like, high school
Yes.
science classes, so I think it's allowed that we maybe had childlike questions, because we had a childlike understanding.
And I think, people who have been working with the tar pits for a very long time and around them
Usually interact with children.
Yeah, well, they assume that you have a baseline understanding of, like, okay, yeah, if some person falls in the tar pits, yes, we have to go get them. But we don't have that baseline. I'm from Colorado.
And what are the details? I want details. I'm sure, you're not going to leave them there.
I want to know. So I'm kind of like, I need to know the protocol. Becca's a museum educator and a certified interpretive guide at the Natural History Museum of Los Angeles County and the La Brea Tar Pits Museum. They're connected. They're kind of in the same natural history system here in Los Angeles. So here's what we're gonna do. Ava's gonna be me.
I am Mercedes.
Yes, sending these email questions. I'm gonna read what Becca responded to us, and we hope that this answers some of the baseline stuff, so we and the viewers can start at the same place. Because
we're so educated on the tar pits now because of this.
We talk about this place a lot.
We're constantly. If we're not here, we're talking about it.
And we want you guys to know this too. We want to clue you in. You're part of this group now. You are
the tar
part
pit
of
community.
Tar Pit Nation. Rise up, Tar Pit.
Hashtag Tar Pit Nation.
And if you want to support us,
or come up with your own fandom hashtag.
Throw us a hashtag. It can be either hashtag TarPitNation or one of your choosing, and let us know.
Imagine, you are us.
Mhm.
You're walking around the tar pits. You are, 24 years old,
This is correct.
but you were filled with childlike wonder. I think we were writing these questions down as we are walking around because
Yes.
we were like, we have more questions.
Mhm.
All right, we intro ourselves. We say, hey, this is who we are. This is
Hey.
why we care.
Hey, Becca. Yeah.
Hey, Becca, question one. I noticed that there are many smaller pits, use quotes, outside of the fenced-off areas. Do you guys cover these after a while? Is there a way to divert them? What happens when they get big enough that they weren't being closed off, such as in the parking lot, which was full of tar and cones?
And Becca
And then Becca
responded with, as soon as we find a new asphalt seep, we cover it with a bright green traffic cone so that pedestrians, dogs, or other wildlife don't step in it. All of the recent rain has caused some erosion in the park, so you might have spotted a brand new seep if there wasn't a cone over it already. If the liquid asphalt spreads to a size that the cone can't cover, then we'll build a small fence around it for safety. We can't divert them since it's oozing up from an oil bed 1,000 feet underground, so sometimes that means we lose a parking spot or a corner of the sidewalk. Now, this intrigues me because it truly is like letting Mother Nature kind of do what it needs to do.
because you can't stop it.
And you can't stop it. And it's interesting that we have then decided to build structures on top of it, knowing that things could come out at any time.
And we get into this in another question, but like, there's houses over there. The SAG-AFTRA building is over there.
Yes.
I would be concerned that this, and clearly it hasn't happened yet, but aren't the tar pits good? What if your house got engulfed by a tar pit? Because
Well,
if it decides to open up under there.
Exactly, and we can explore this in another episode too. But famously, the LACMA's right there. LACMA's right over there because we're on Museum Row. At one point, and I can find a photo of it, or I think there's postcards that show it. LACMA had these like reflective pools in front of it for a really long time. They were very big, like I'm talking like 50s, 60s probably. And they had to take those away because tar kept coming up through them. And they were like, we can't like beat this, so we have to literally get rid of this thing.
Let the tar
be tar, because it was just like that. It's kind of like lightning, where it's trying to find the fastest point to the ground. I think the tar is trying to find the fastest point up.
There is petroleum underground, and that's where tar pits are always going to be. Is anywhere that there's petroleum, anywhere there's been organisms that have been put under pressure, and now it's like crude oil, and then also has like lots of fractures, lots of fault lines in California. Also, like LA, 6th Street fault line goes, and now we have bubbling pits of tar.
Exactly. So I think these reflective pools were just giving it a faster journey up. So it was like, well, if you don't want tar in the pools, take away the pools. Sorry.
So I guess they did divert Mother Nature in that way.
Exactly.
That they capitulated to her needs.
Intriguing. I say, you know what? I say bring the pools back.
Let's encourage the tar.
Let's see
I
the
want
tar.
more tar.
Bring more tar up, baby. That's what I always say. Hashtag bring more tar up, baby.
Hashtag. And also mentioned the cones, right? In this answer.
Yes. So
big flashing us with the cone. Flashing us with the cone. We love the cones.
We love the cones.
The bright green cones.
They're very specific to the tar pits. The cones all say, and I have sent an email. It is yet to be answered, but this is a question that we have. The tar pits are bright green, and they have words on them like messy, sticky. Like, I'd love to know who on the team came up with that. I'd love to know who makes them.
What comedian is out there making funny cones for the tar pits? One says stinky, and I find that mean. It's not the tar pits' fault that they have methane.
Because I also would argue that like these cones are very simple, but also it's like somebody had to like spray paint the words onto them.
There's inherent comedy in them.
So I'm intrigued who makes them and who produces them. Maybe it's like somebody on the team, like they're in charge of producing. Do they make them as needed, or do they have a supply? I'd love.
Oh my god! Can you imagine there's a closet full of the cones?
There's a chance. I mean, there has to be.
Right? There has to be somewhere. Let me in there.
We'll chat.
Let me in there.
That's our criterion closet. Is the cone
Becca? Big question. Big question
Becca,
about the cones.
Let us.
If you're free, please get back to us on that one.
All right, next question.
Becca, if a live animal were to fall into this was so written by a 12-year-old, but we're also us. If a live animal were to fall into the tar pits today and was big enough to notice, are you at liberty to remove the animal?
So, for some context, in terms of me phrasing it, big enough to notice, this is what I mean. Like, a lot of times, like, look, I hate to be that person, but it's like there's a lot of small birds in this world. There's a lot of smaller mammals.
Baby squirrel.
Mice. I would argue that, like, sometimes things fall in, because some of these pits are really big. Sometimes there's pits, and it's kind of like, they're so small you probably wouldn't even notice. But let's say, like, a cat goes in. I'm noticing a cat.
Yeah, people are gonna. Yeah, the cat's gonna make sure
right
you
there.
notice them.
And this was really a question about, like, animals, but also humans, low key. Like, if it worked.
I imagine you'd notice a human.
Exactly. You'd hope. Okay. And here is what Becca said. It's an unfortunate and distressing situation when wildlife.
She's so kind. She's so thoughtful.
Oh, Becca is just like us. Becca says, it's an unfortunate and distressing situation when wildlife becomes entrapped in the asphalt seeps. Thankfully, this does not happen very often. If we noticed an animal was stuck, we would use every resource necessary to safely remove it, and then we would reach out to Los Angeles Animal Control or other rescue agencies if it was beyond our area of expertise. And I love that.
She's just so thoughtful.
She's so thoughtful. And also that makes sense. It's not like these people aren't cruel.
I would hope
They
not.
can't just be like, well, this is the life cycle, like, get in the pit, like, bye. So I like that. I think that's good.
I like Becca. If a person on the excavation team were to fall into a pit, how difficult would it be to remove them? Is there any harm that comes from the tar coming into contact with skin?
Becca says, if you were able to stop by Project 23, you might have noticed a lot of large boxes that we were working on above ground. We did notice them.
They're right there.
That's the primary way we've been excavating fossils since 2008, with the exception of Pit 91, which is still underground. The fossil deposits in the boxes are no longer connected to the oil field, so the asphalt is dry and there's no risk of getting stuck. Working in Pit 91 or going behind the fences of our other pits involves a lot of safety measures, supervision, and risk assessment when anyone is close to the natural liquid asphalt. There's no harm from the asphalt coming into contact with the skin, but the solvents and scrubbing needed to remove it can be a little uncomfortable. The most effort needed to remove a person was back in 1929 when a group of high school boys were chasing a squirrel across the empty park and unknowingly ran across the dig site that had been filled in with liquid asphalt.
All of that sounds like a lie. Those boys were lying. They were chasing a squirrel, one. They unknowingly ran across it, no.
I'm curious.
They were just fucking around and they got stuck in the tar, and they said, we were chasing a squirrel.
And it said they, like, pulled out stuff and then filled in the dig site with liquid asphalt, and I wonder if that was just, like, a natural, like, now there's a hole and the asphalt's already there, so it's seeping into, like, where the space was, or if it was, like, them being like, well, we're gonna put this asphalt back in. Like, I assume.
That's confusing, yeah.
Yeah, I would love to know more about that.
Love to know.
The fire department was called, and it took multiple grown men to remove the boys. They all survived, rinsed off the asphalt with hot kerosene, and lived into their 80s or 90s based on the obituaries I could find. Now, that's another question. This raises more questions. Would love to know the science behind the hot kerosene.
Oh, yeah, you can't, it's just like water and soap aren't going to work.
Would love to speak about that. Would love to know, because this is, 1929. Would love to know if there's an updated method, like if I were to fall in.
Not.
Hey, it's one of those things where
it kind of matters, like what's a solvent and what's gonna.
We've always had this. If something works, something works.
Yeah. I also hope that we can find those obituaries.
Would love to find the obituaries.
Do you think like in their obituary when they died at 80 years old, it says like in 1929 when he was 15 he got stuck in a tar pit?
It's kind of mean. It's like, and one time Brad was a fucking moron and fell into the tar pit. So think about that.
Maybe he should have done that in his obituary. That's hilarious.
And Becca, she ends this email in a very kind way, and it makes us love her.
We love her so much.
Becca
She's so kind to us, even if she thought we were 12.
Yeah. Even if she thought we were 12 and making an email, using our parents' email. Becca said, "This place still leaves me with new questions every day. So again, I appreciate your curious mind. If you have any follow-up questions, feel free to email us again, or if you're in the LA area, I highly recommend attending one of our excavator tours, which we still
haven't done, which is crazy.
Which we will do. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we hope you can visit again soon." Becca, don't even worry.
Oh, Becca, we're back all the time. And if we're not here, we are talking someone's ear off about it.
Becca, we're hanging out.
The reason for Don't Get Me Started, the name, is one, it's a pun, but two, like,
don't get me started.
I'm sometimes like embarrassed about how much I talk about the tar pits.
We're gonna go into a setting that is not connected to the tar pits, and we're gonna talk about the tar pits for 45 minutes.
I'm at work, I'm talking about the tar pits. I'm at brunch, I'm talking about the tar pits.
We're gonna steer this conversation to the tar pits.
I'm going, oh, how can I talk about the tar pits right now?
You said, hey, did you hear that Justin Trudeau and Katy Perry are dating? I say, yeah, I did. And I bet you Katy Perry, being from California, has
Like,
probably been to the Tar Pits.
Maybe she's gonna get married at the Tar Pits.
Oh!
That's a thing.
I wonder how much that costs. Let's talk. We'll chat Tar Pit wedding planning. We'll do that. I think that's good. Well, thank you.
Thank you, Becca.
Thank you, Becca. And I also want to just leave you also with this. Janet Duran, who is the call center lead / guest relations,
Put us in
who
contact.
initially put us in contact with Becca, has a quote at the bottom of her email signature that says, "To inspire wonder, discovery, and responsibility for our natural and cultural worlds." And I think that is wonderful.
Snap, snap, snap. I'm so inspired by our cultural and physical worlds. This place fills me with childlike wonder.
Exactly.
More things. Everyone should find what fills them with childlike wonder.
And I think that is the very ethos.
I was going to say ethos of our project. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I would argue that sums up exactly what we're trying to do, and so exactly what we feel, frankly.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
God
yeah.
Damn, they're geniuses.
People at the Tar Pits, they care. I think they care deeply about being a part of the community and helping maybe mostly children, but also adults.
Exactly.
Get a little science in their lives.
Exactly.
See something interesting.
Science is accessible. Science is in your backyard. You just need to interact with it.
Science will answer you via email with whatever stupid ass questions you have.
Science will email you back.
Yeah.
Science is always here. Nobody wants to hang out with you. You come to the Tar Pits. Science is here to hang out with you.
You can smell it in the air, the bubbling methane-filled tar.
There's always something to learn, and that is such a wonderful, wonderful thing. And we are so lucky that we live in a place where we can just be constantly discovering things about our natural world. And I think that's wonderful. So I would say get excited. Our next episode will be the Tar Pit 10K.
Which you are invited to,
Which you're
please.
invited to.
Anybody is allowed to come to the Tar Pit 10K. What
Open
is the Tar Pit
call.
10K, Mercedes?
So the Tar Pit 10K is
Event put on by us.
an event, of my own design, where we're going to walk around the Tar Pits for, we're going to do a 10K, which is about a little more than 6 miles.
I'm thinking maybe 12 laps.
Yes.
Figure eight.
I think we're going to figure eight through it. And what we want you guys to do is we're walking it, so it's going to take us a little bit over 2 hours, I think, based on my previous 10K walking time. Come by, see us, walk a couple laps with us,
do a lap.
chat with us about the Tar Pits. You can be a guest on the pod. We'd love to have you. We're going to be doing it anyways, and we hope that through this we inspire you to get out into nature, get your body moving in a place that is in your own backyard and is open to the public.
And talk to us about the Tar Pits.
Chat with us about the Tar Pits.
Because we want to do it.
We'd be talking to you about it anyway, so you might as well walk while we do it.
Might as well be on the pod.
It is October
25th. Around 10 a.m.?
10 a.m. We're going to start around 10 a.m.
But come in anytime.
Come in anytime. Swing by. 15 minutes.
Maybe bring us a snack.
Ooh, that'd be fun. Bring us a fact as well.
Oh, bring us a snack and a fact. It doesn't actually have to be Tar Pit related, but as long as it's, fun science, fun geology, that's what we're here for.
Exactly. And anything else you'd like to leave the people with?
No, but is there any other ideas that you want to have in a future Tar Pit episode? Get the conversation rolling. We'll also take suggestions.
Yes, okay, so that's important too. We are always taking suggestions. You have questions, suggestions, you just want to chat.
DM us.
You can DM us on Instagram.
Email us.
We have an email. Our email is tarpitlovers@gmail.com. Plural spelled normally. tarpitlovers@gmail.com. I read every email. Send us an email.
Have you gotten an email yet?
Haven't gotten an email yet. Would love to get an email.
It'd be really
I'm checking it.
It'd be really fun if we got an email.
Would love to get an email. There are 1,000 topics, and we've said this to friends. There are 1,000 topics that we could speak about within this podcast, and we would never run out of something. The haters will say it can't be done.
Multiple people actually, Jamie, said that I don't think, there's enough things you can talk about the Tar Pits. Literally insane take. I could talk about the Tar Pits forever, and there's so many things we can do.
I would say, too, that if you got something to fucking say to us,
come to the Tar Pits.
Come to the pits. We're here.
If you're a hater, you're getting thrown in, but we are women of science, so we do want to see what happens. I trust Becca when she said that it doesn't hurt, but you never know.
But I can make it hurt beforehand.
Think about that.
Fucking say it to our faces.
We're literally always here, or we're talking about it, so meet us at the Tar Pits anytime.
Yeah.
We can fight about it.
there's a good chance, statistically, there's a good chance if you show up at some time, we'll probably be here, actually, just kind of hanging out. So,
The next positive thing I want to do with the tar pits is
Yes.
take a little scoop.
would love to learn, would love to learn if we can take a little scoop. 'Cause it's just
Admittedly,
naturally
hey,
occurring.
Becca, don't be mad at us about this, but
Please
like
don't be
one of
mad
the
at me.
ones of like not a fenced off one, but like
Yeah.
in one of the little seeps covered by a cone, I think, and I don't encourage this because obviously if we all take the tar, then there's no tar
And there's
left.
no tar.
But I'm gonna take a little scoop,
A little.
and then I want to do art with it.
Yeah, I'm intrigued
I
by
want to do
this.
tar pit art.
Yeah, I think.
Pun there? Probably a pun there.
And I
Tart.
like that. Ooh, there you go.
I don't know, something there.
I also would love to learn more about the project behind us, which is
Project
Pit
23.
23. Is that what it is?
Mhm.
Yes, Pit 23. Project 23. Would love to chat with somebody who's like actively working on it day to day. Kind of see what their day looks like. And honestly, and I think I brought this up before, I'd love to see a day in the life of Becca's day.
I would love to know what gets her up in the morning.
What gets you up in the morning? What's your schedule looking like? What are your responsibilities? Because you you very kindly answered our email, but it's like, is that something that you generally do? Is that something you chose to do out of the kindness of your heart? Perhaps both. Would love to see what your job is, Becca.
What your background's like?
We'd love to have you on the pod, Becca.
Are we getting too obsessive?
No, I think
it's normal. We
she's our hero.
She is our hero.
It's like meeting. Look, you're the LeBron, Becca. You're the LeBron James.
The LeBron James.
Ooh. Say that one more time.
I don't want to.
Okay. I like this though. Yeah. So, and with that, I think this is. I'm glad you're along for the ride.
This has been Don't Get Me Started, episode 1.
I'm Mercedes.
I'm Ava.
Thank you for joining us.
I hope we recorded this time.
All right. You too.
Signing out from the tar pits.
Signing out.
Don't get me started.